Actually going to be start doing some engine stuff and going back over the car itself, so hopefully it's all good. Right now I want to make sure all the wiring's in place and all the other little things, so once I get to a point I'll start showing you what's going to be going on. But either way, first things first, I'm checking over all the sensors. There's a few sensors that are disconnected and a few ground wires, which I'm going to start connecting. Right now I'm actually doing a crank sensor and a knock sensor, but the knock sensor is actually in there, which I don't have all my tools to actually start pulling the intake off, so I'm trying to do it with a screwdriver or some pliers, but hopefully I can pop that in place. I already disconnected the old one. Since this is a wiring specialties harness, this is gonna have to be in there, so let me do that first. And I still gotta figure out what this sensor is right here. I'm sure it's some type of outer air temp or map sensor, but I'm not sure just yet. So after that we'll see what happens, and hopefully it's all good. So I did pull off this just in case, because I had to get to some of the engine parts there. And then right now I figured out the mass airflow sensor problem, and so yeah guys, let me start getting things done here and hopefully all goes well. So it's so weird, but right there, things finally in place. Let me see if I can get a shot from here. Right there, I was able to actually basically get a flathead screwdriver and somehow push it in the knock sensor, because this is a tight space. I really can't get a good focus on there, but you get the point. So I was able to put that in. So this is finally in place, all buttoned up. So now we'll go ahead and pop this radiator hose in place real quick. It's kind of hard to do things with just one hand. Just like that, guys. I still need another one for the bottom and the one up here, so that's all in place as well. But I'm gonna go ahead to buy some of those or get some from work. But then I do gotta adjust this belt. No, that feels fine. Yeah, that feels fine. Just making sure so nothing's left out. Let's change space. I remember I installed this with my buddy years back. It should be all nice and tight as well, but I don't have tools for this. I think they were tight if I remember just right. So either way, let's see what we got. This has to be adjusted still. I don't remember if he did. And over here, we're gonna need that ground there, so I'm gonna go ahead to find a bolt real quick. Okay, so now that we got those few things out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and start installing this short ram intake, and basically it'll go right in there, but I'm gonna need my two hands, so I'll try to record as much as I can. So guys, I'm back here with a 240, and we're going to be installing these rear quarters and the actual the actual windows. Go ahead and uncover it real quick. Guys, as you can tell, I haven't done much. I really want to clean this up a little bit more with the paint, but here we're going to actually start removing a little bit of these cylinders here and start buttoning up everything here. And I think I'm gonna sand this down just a little bit more, so I can put some primer here just in case nothing rusts up or anything in the future. But we'll figure that out here in a second. And but it doesn't look that bad. Maybe I can just scuff it up and the paint will stick to it. So as you can tell right here, it's a bit of rust, which I'm actually gonna fix there. So probably everything from here and forth I'm gonna clean up and make sure it's all good. So, yep, let's get to it, guys. I just finished doing all this. As you can tell, use a wire brush to clean it all up, but I'm gonna go ahead and sand this down real quick and buff it, and then start doing some primer and paint. Guys, it's all sanded down right now. I got some acetone here, which I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna start taping everything here, but nice and clean. But I'm not painting in here, just where the window sits. Alright guys, so I'm gonna let this primer dry real quick, and I'm gonna go back to the other side and start doing that side. This is all prepped up, and we're gonna go from there, guys. So guys, now that this is done, I'm gonna go ahead and sand this back down, make sure it's all nice and good. And basically, I'm gonna start putting that primer in place, but I got some acetone here that I'm gonna make sure it's a nice clean surface. Alright, so I'm finished shaping up this right here. Reason why is I don't want any paint going in there, so just want to make sure it's all good. Alright guys, so right here, as you can tell, I'm actually taping this up and then gonna block it off with some newspapers. I don't want any paint going in there, so let's do it the right way and not deal with the paint later on inside. But I will plan on redoing the whole interior again and go from there. As you can tell, there's some few spots here and there are a little bit rusted. All right, so now that this is getting primered on there, I'm gonna go ahead to the other side and wait for this to dry up so I can do another coat. But the other side, I'm gonna start doing the paint. It's all nice and dry now, no issues at all whatsoever, as you can tell. Nice and dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and spray that black paint and let the other one dry up. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry up a little bit more. It's been about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I lost track of time, but I gotta go start doing the other side since it's already dried up. So I'm doing the paint now. Everything here is dry, as you can tell, so it's all good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and spray the first coat and then go back to the other side and do the last coat on that side. And I think I'm gonna let it dry for the night and come back tomorrow morning or afternoon to install the windows. I still got to do the rear hatches as well, but or the rear window here, but that's gonna be a little bit more. And I don't think I have enough window sealer here, so let's go ahead and do this real quick and get the rest. Let's go ahead and do that last coat. As you can tell, it's coming out really good. Super excited. So far so good. This ain't gonna really matter. I just want to make sure it's all nice and painted and cleaned out, so I have no rust later on. But either way, we're good. So let's do that last coat. Alright guys, so that's the last coat. That should be it for today. I'm gonna come back tomorrow, like I said, and start doing the rest. But other than that, came out perfect. Love how it came out nice and even, and the coats went on there pretty good. Everything is drying up now. Don't want to mess with it too much, but either way, tomorrow we're gonna be resealing this, putting the window back in, and this is just so it doesn't rust up anymore. All of this you ain't gonna be able to see later on in the future, but either way, I have a few things. I really want to fix this dent right there, but other than that, see you later. As you can tell, it's all nice and dried, and it's been about 20 hours or so all this is perfect now. And I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this off, all the tape. Oh, look at that. Just to make sure that nice and clean, and we're gonna be ready to actually put all the sealing in place. So here's this side as well. Perfect. Finished pulling this off. Wiped everything down. Everything here is the best part. Everything else I'll be able to get to later on, just in case. But let's go ahead and pull these windows out and clean them up before we install them. And I do have some 3M urethane glass sealer there, so that's gonna be perfect for this. But yeah, I really need to seal this up, and then also I'll probably be doing this as well, the rear window, just to make sure. Alright guys, so it's starting to rain. As you can tell, I got them in place, all taped down, and we're gonna let this dry off. But after this, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the rear window, because right now I won't be able to, so I might try to do it out sometime this week and get it all done. This one should be a lot quicker since I don't have to do a lot of work on this one, so I should just be able to clean it up really good and reseal it. So alright guys, I don't remember in the last few clips that my old hood is actually all bent up. There's a lot of dents in it. It's horrible. So my buddy actually gave me this one because I traded a fender in for his Nirvana. And basically, I won't be needing my fender, but he gave me this hood and some extra parts that I do need. So me and him are good now. But I'm gonna go ahead and start taking all this off, all this surface rust off, just to make sure this doesn't rust anymore, because someone actually half-assed it. Now we have surface rust coming back right up. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind this all down to bare metal, put some primer on it for now, and at least put this back on the car today and go from there, because I'm not liking the way it's actually rusting up. So there's this. I'm not gonna clean this completely, like really good, because I am gonna go back over this later on. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to make sure no rust gets back on it. As you can tell in here, it kind of starts eating up in here to the metal itself. But I'm hoping it doesn't come back. But if it does, either way, we'll figure something out. But let's go get this primered and get it put on the car. Alright guys, so I'm gonna let this sit in place now for a couple days and make sure it's all good. But it's in place, all nice and even, and I'm gonna have to do a few things here later on and clean this up just to make sure. But other than that, that should be it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish painting that hood, because I am out. And as you can tell, this one has a few dents. It's starting to rust. There's a dent here, dent there, dent there. So many dents all around this. So I don't know, I'm gonna try to save this. If not, I'll probably get rid of it, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, guys, so I decided to pull the dash out real quick, so I gotta do some wiring here, at least get it wrapped up. But that's kind of drying up now because I ran out of paint, so we'll leave it like that for now, and then probably next week I'll start doing the rest of it. But this is all set in place, and as you can tell, I started wrapping this up in place real quick, since I got a bit, probably another hour or so, so I can start doing this and getting everything situated over here just to make sure. But yeah, let's pull this right back out and make sure it's all where it needs to be and organized. Alright guys, so as you can tell, it's more organized now instead of, you know, all bunched up. So now I'm gonna have to figure out where these goes. I haven't done one, and I feel like I'm missing the wiring for the actual dash itself. I don't know. exactly where that would be. So it's kind of weird. So I don't know what to really tell you because I am missing a few things here and there. Got the main harness here. The plugs for those are actually down there. I'm gonna have to figure out where they actually go. I'm missing another one, which would be nope. Alright guys, so as you can tell, I finally got this in place. Didn't get a lot of footage because I was actually really focused with this, and I had to make this real quick. But either way, we're gonna let this sit down in place for a few days and come back and actually check it out. And this is all done for both quarters and the rears. I still gotta put a window track on this one. It's already in place, but it's actually missing the lower part that holds the window in place. So but yeah, I'm gonna start cleaning everything up here so I can actually make sure it's all nice and clean. But wiring is all basically done. I do got to get some clips for that to hold everything in place, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy some of those next week. And also, as you can tell, I did finish the hood here and it's all perfect. Right now it's all primered and some black paint just to keep all the rust away for a good bit of time until my brother actually starts doing some body work on this. Other than that, guys, that should be it. So, and also guys, so before I end this video, in the next few videos, I'm actually doing some SC300 work. Been trying to get the thing ready, and hopefully I can get the first start here. But hopefully you enjoy those videos. But I'm super excited. So this is trying to be doing things back and forth, and it's actually been doing pretty well here. So just constantly working on these cars, and I'm trying to catch up with everything. But you're gonna see some few SC300 videos here and there, a lot of wiring stuff and getting all ready for startup. And then after that, possibly be hopping back on that another 240, but the Eclipse, because that one's almost ready to go as well. Same with this 240, just a few little things that's on wiring, and that should be it. But other than that, guys, peace.